Hello everybody, what's up and welcome. Today I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be doing a fight spotlight. That's where I just take one fight from one map and really look at it, put it under a magnifying glass at 100x zoom, or maybe that would be a microscope, I guess, would be more suitable for that. Go through it really slowly and just drill deep into all of the nitty-gritty details and all of the things that happen and just really go into it. So when you get to the end, let me know what you thought. So we are, of course, on Numbani, Lunatic High versus Rogue in the APAC Grand Finals that just recently occurred. This was the first fight of the first map. So while that does seem convenient, it was one fight among many other fights that were good and interesting that I picked out. So I chose this one because it seemed cool at the time. Unfortunately, this is the first glimpse we get of the game, and it's a little bit of an awkward angle, but let's take a look at the team comp. So we have Rogue attacking, and they have the important team comp here. We have Winston, Genji, and D.Va, so super, hyper, jump in, kill him sort of aggressiveness. Of course, the Ana, very good, heal them from a distance. The Lucio has a speed boost, but the McCree doesn't really make a lot of sense here. He doesn't have... the rest of his team is going to jump in very far away, do this big dive up onto the back ledge that we're going to see in just a bit. And the McCree is not really going to have anywhere to go. He doesn't have enough range to project up there, and he has to wind up getting too close to actually do anything. Lunatic High has a team of their own, and I'm not really going to go into it too much because we're going to look at this fight. Rogue's going to come up here and, of course, jump in as their team is designed to do because we have this guy, Eska on McCree, back here. We'll talk about that in just a second, but let's see how it plays out. We have, boom, 3 people dive him. Holy crap, he's in trouble. Oh dear, and he goes down. And then some other things happen in the fight, but that's not important right now. Let's look at this. This is important because you can't just have your McCree die for no reason. So here comes Rogue. They're trying to do what their team is meant to do and jump on someone. So let's pick out who's going to be jumped on here. Well, someone is sticking out like a sore thumb, and that is Eska on McCree. He's playing really far up, not really in the doorway, doesn't have anywhere to run. He's far away from that. He can't really jump down. That's too dangerous, and he's too far away from the door. He has no help at all. All these heroes can't help him. The Ana can sort of maybe help him if she lands asleep, but overall very dicey. So let's see what happens to him. Well, here comes Rogue. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Oh no, we're in trouble and we're dead. So that's what happened to Eska. That fight, fortunately, Lunatic High wind up winning because of, and we have a little spaghetti quality on the VOD, but that is a McCree dying to a Reinhardt. So McCree should never be dying to a Reinhardt, ideally, because that doesn't really make any sense. There's no way that the Reinhardt should be able to get up to him. But the reason that that was allowed to occur is because, as I've said before, McCree is a little bit of an awkward pick in this team composition. Because if we look at how far away, we're dealing with this up here. This is very, very far away. McCree only has 20 to 25 meter-ish very good effective range. So AKM on McCree had to walk all the way up to actually have an impact on the fight, which resulted in him being in range of all these juicy tanks who want him dead. And so once again, AKM goes down on McCree. There goes the main DPS. So a really great jump on Eska, which should have sealed the deal for Rogue because the McCree for Lunatic was really their main DPS. Winds up not working out very well because they just picked the wrong DPS here. He couldn't get in and really do anything. AKM couldn't do anything on the McCree. So I actually want to look at this play one more time, and we're going to in super mega microscopic detail. So remember, look where everyone is, pay attention to that, and let's see what happens. So here they go, they jump up, and here the Ana wastes her sleep dart. You can hear it, she throws it in that general direction, very, very panicky. And it's just not a very good sleep dart. Not because the aim was bad, just because it was such a hard shot. If she had waited until, like, now, that's a really easy sleep dart, right? Also, you want the Roadhog to maybe hook someone to prevent them from diving as well. He gets slapped because he's in a very vulnerable position. This is just, like, so obvious. And anyway, he winds up not being able to get the hook off, gets slapped. And now we have a Winston. He's still looking the wrong direction. Has very, very slow reaction time here, and even then, he wouldn't be able to do much. So Eska gets jumped on. The Reinhardt's just like cheerleading in the corners. Same thing with the Lucio. He's just a cheerleader as well. The cheerleader, right? Yeah, the Lucio should probably be over here as well, because even if something happens over here, you can just skater boy over here, no problem. So we see that Eska has a party that's maybe not something that he signed up for, and he winds up going down. So here we are on Numbani, and I love McCree. McCree is good in a really wide array of situations, but he's not great in all of them. And here's one of the situations on both teams, because remember, both teams had a McCree where he's not super great. Well, let's take a look. So remember, McCree's really good sweet spot range is around a little over 20 meters, and we can see that if the other team pushes here, this is a little bit beyond that. His range kind of stops like here if we draw a line. It doesn't quite make it to this area. Plus over here, of course. So in order to be effective, especially if you stand back here, you can't really get too much. Now this becomes too far out of range if you're standing back in the safe area. That's why Eska was actually standing up in this objectively terrible spot that's very dangerous. He can't go this way. He's too far away there, too far away there. The only thing he can do is just kind of dive bomb onto the point into a terrible place, because this is the only place he can actually get good damage off. He has to stand all the way up here to be able to get a good amount of damage up there, to exert DPS over there. So if you're McCree, you have to be standing all the way up here to actually do anything. So McCree is actually not a good hero to put up here. McCree should be in this part of the map over there with the tanks, because the only safe way to stand up here for a hero, like for example, as Anna, I stand up here a lot, is to kind of just peek this back area, so you can kind of look here, peek there, but mostly you're hidden behind this. That way if they dive you, you can just be like, all right, nope, we're out of here. And now they can't really chase you through that. It puts them in a really bad situation, and you're far enough back where you can get to safety. But like I said with McCree, though, he can't do that. He can't just stand here, because suddenly not only are these kind of difficult shots to just sort of look at like this, but he's too far away. That's not enough damage if he's shooting like this, and it's not enough damage if he's shooting like this. And ideally, you want to be standing back and just sort of be able to peek. McCree's not that sort of hero. He doesn't just be like, okay, one shot, we're good, one shot, we're good. Heroes that are good in this position are heroes that can stand far back, get a shot off, and just play very, very safe, make sure they can stay out of danger so they can run away at any time. Those would include Hanzo, Anna, Widowmaker, Zenyatta, and if we want to be thorough, I think Torbjorn kind of fits the bill too. Those are all the heroes I can think of just off the top of my head who would be good here. McCree is not one of them. So as I said before, Eska forced to stand up here, and now he can't go anywhere. He can't roll here, that's too far away. He can't roll over here, that's too far away. So he's just screwed. But what about the McCree on the other side? So remember, all of the fight is happening right here. Everything is happening up on this stage. So the McCree on Rogue, remember, he came from this angle. If he wants to actually shoot up there, or up here in general, like he doesn't really have an angle, he has to come all the way up into the site to now start having a presence. And this is the worst place a McCree would ever want to be. Again, if this were a Widow, would actually not be bad here. She could take this angle meaningfully here, because the McCree can't do that, but she could meaningfully take this angle. She could grapple up here, which would give her stuff to look at here, stuff to look at here, and it's quite safe because just drop down. Take, again, a meaningful angle onto the site here, and this is all completely safe, 100% safe. Remember, there's also an Anna back here with her, so they can support each other. No one can really dive them, because there was a Winston on the side of Lunatic High, but the Winston wouldn't be able to do anything against an Anna Widow together. She could, of course, grapple up here if she's feeling frisky. Get, again, meaningful angles. That's important, meaningful angles. Angles that you can actually do DPS on, because when you're on McCree, like this angle looks good. It looks good, like, oh wow, look how cool this is. I'm on the high ground, I get all this stuff, but there's no meaningful damage you can do, because it's all too far away, all outside of your threat range. And now it doesn't have to be a Widow. This is just an example, because we all look at that fast scope. I mean, it's not that fast, but it's definitely noticeable, definitely faster. Other options are, of course, Hanzo would be very good here. A lot of pro players are really good at Hanzo, so I'm surprised we don't see that more. Because Hanzo can climb up the wall, get all the same meaningful angles that Widow can. or even a Zenyatta. Triple support would be quite strong here because the Zenyatta can take this angle very well and this angle as well with the orbs. And a Zenyatta Ana combo, again, pretty hard. Like, you can't dive that with just one hero, not even Winston if they play it correctly. He can shoot orbs all around here, still heal his team from this very long distance, just like the Ana can. So actually, triple support, triple tank would work there as well. You just have to find someone who can fit the range properly. And McCree, of course, failed to do that. But I want to also take a look at the Roadhog on the side of Lunatic High. So the Roadhog was sitting here, just sort of camping here. And remember, all of their eggs were in this basket. We have the McCree here, crucial player, Ana here, crucial player, and a Winston here just sort of chilling, I assume to help them out. They're really putting a lot of eggs into this basket over there. So all we have over here is just the Reinhardt and also the Roadhog. So the Roadhog was supposed to be trying to exert influence over here, I assume, but it kind of falls short. Because if we look, his range goes to about here on the ground. So not far enough, of course, to exert any influence over there. Can't even land a hook onto this ledge either. And if they push from down below, he has to walk all the way around to actually get a hooking angle on that. And if they push from up here, he's in a pretty bad scenario because Roadhog's not very good in this rush position. So really the only thing he can do is just get a snap hook on someone leaping up there and grab him out of the air or something. And that's not something you can rely on. The only way that the Roadhog on Lunatic High was going to do anything in the scenario, in the situation that they put him in, was if he got some god hook. If they must run a Roadhog, they should have run him up here with all of the rest of their team, because now he actually has a great threat range. Because remember, the threat range here on this ledge pretty much covered maybe like this area and like this area, not really this area over here, and that's about it. So not too much. This threat range covers everything that this one did, so the entire point essentially, but also can help everything up here, and if they push through that direction, he can also get a nice hook on that angle. So the Roadhog actually should have been up here, if, like I said, they must run a Roadhog. So presumably we don't have much control over that area. If they push through there, the Reinhardt's going to be singled out and killed very, very easily. So this area up here is actually really hard to get into, really hard to crack. Of course, they're going to try to take the point directly in that case and try to force you down. So a Reinhardt is not good here because a Reinhardt's not going to actually exert any pressure over this area. Well, I have a line now. Let's get rid of that. This area or this area up here. Reinhardt's not going to help you do that. Reinhardt helps you defend your teammates, but your teammates are already well defended. So we need to beat their DPS with our DPS now at range. So we need something to deal with that. We need some big DPS of our own to take advantage of this locked down high ground we have. I see teams a lot of times, they'll run big high ground turtle with no DPS. So it's like, imagine if you ran a Reinhardt and a Roadhog, like all these heroes, all these big tanks, and they're all up here just chilling. They're like, yeah, you can't ever get up here. And then the team is just like, all right, we'll just take the point. And then it's like, oh, well, okay, guess see you later, high ground. Our people need us, right? That's not very productive. You need to have, if you're going to take this high ground superiority approach, the Lunatic Highs seem to kind of want to do, even though they had awkward positioning, you need to have DPS to take advantage of it. So like I said, the McCree could have been those heroes I talked about before, and your second DPS, go greedy with it. Get a drunk rat. If you don't want to be that greedy, you can get maybe a more traditional hero like a McCree or a soldier maybe, but take advantage of the high ground. Don't just run like 6 melee heroes, be like, this is our high ground, we control it, it is ours, and then have the other team embarrass you and just take the point. So in summary, Lunatic High had pretty poor positioning, a real bad formation, I guess, on this point, got severely punished by Rogue, and this happens multiple times. This happens in the future fights as well. But Rogue is, instead of running a more liberal DPS hero, maybe a greedier one, like I said, a Widowmaker, a Hanzo, something like that, a real finisher, real carry, they run the safe, generalist, blah, McCree. Like I said, McCree's a great hero, but not what they needed. They needed some real punch. They really needed to break through that armor and be able to finish off the fight, and McCree was not able to do that for them. So the remaining team members from Lunatic High just sort of collapsed and planked down the rest of Rogue with no real problem in that fight. So anyway, guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter for my little mini tip series videos on hero abilities. The link is in the description. Plus, I do some updates on what I'm posting and things like that as well. Let me know what you thought about this concept of just taking one fight and really drilling deep into what happened. Was it too dense? Was it not dense enough? Things like that. So please go ahead and leave feedback in the comments. Like if you liked it, which I hope you did. Hope you got something out of it. Maybe learned a little bit, maybe even had a little bit of fun. So stay positive and have a great day. Peace out, guys.